Good evening. We begin with breaking news. A man and a woman are in the hospital right now with serious injuries after being hit by a car about an hour ago near I-17 in Dunlap. We're giving you a live look at the scene. It's unclear right now where the two pedestrians were crossing. An investigation is underway. Be sure and stay with 12 News for the latest. Tonight, we're also tracking a weather impact alert as high fire danger makes for dangerous conditions, including the valley. Thanks for joining us tonight for 12 News at 10. I'm Mark Curtis.
And I'm Kariba Devine. We have team coverage of the dangerous conditions. Tiani Jadaling is in Phoenix speaking with fire officials. But first, let's get over to meteorologist Lindsay Riley. And Lindsay, what do folks need to know?
Well, the winds are going to be picking up as we head into this upcoming weekend, and the valley also is included in this weather impact alert. So that's why we are in red tonight. It's not too often that we have red flag warnings in the valley itself. More often happens up in the high country. But tomorrow we do have a red flag warning here in Phoenix and much of the lower deserts, as wind gusts are going to peak around 35 miles per hour and the relative humidity will be under 15%. Now up in the high country, Mojave County has red flag warnings going Saturday and Sunday, while the rest of northern Arizona is Sunday only. Gusts will be a little bit higher up in northern Arizona at about 45 miles per hour. So winds don't start off too bad tomorrow morning, but they're going to pick up and they're going to be blowing in from the southwest. So you can see by mid-afternoon, the winds really pick up and we're going to have a repeat performance for Sunday. So be prepared for the wind and the heat this weekend. Karibe.
All right, Lindsay, thank you. With high fire danger across the state this weekend, public safety officials and weather experts are urging everyone to be extra vigilant.
12 News journalist Tiani Jadaling is live in Phoenix after getting tips from Phoenix Fire and the National Weather Service. What are they saying, Tiani?
Mark Caribe, over the next 2 days, experts say it's those winds that we could see here in the valley that could lead to a period of high fire risk. But it's avoiding the little things like making sure that we're avoiding campfires or that all the dried trees around our property are removed. That'll make the biggest difference this weekend.
As the heat continues to rise across the state, neighbors could be dealing with more than just triple-digit temps. This weekend in particular, a red flag warning has been placed over several areas of Arizona, including within Maricopa County and the lower deserts.
We have a setup right now in the upper atmosphere where we have a low-pressure system that is approaching the west coast, as well as a high-pressure system that is building over the southern plains of the United States.
Matt Salerno, a meteorologist with the National Weather Service in Phoenix, says this change could lead to neighbors experiencing some gusty conditions.
That pattern is creating a funneling effect throughout Arizona, and that's going to really enhance our winds beginning this weekend.
According to Salerno, there's specific criteria that needs to be met in order to issue a red flag warning. That includes sustained winds around 20 to 25 miles per hour with gusts up to 35 miles per hour.
We've already had enough high confidence that this weekend we're going to be seeing those really hot, windy and dry conditions across much of the state. So that's why we have a warning in effect right now.
But as far as how to keep safe during this red flag warning, the Phoenix Fire Department says this.
If you're going to do outdoor cooking, things like that, try to limit it or even nix it if you can, just because, especially if you do like an open flame grill, like a charcoal grill, all it takes is a little spark to do that. If you're camping, things like that, probably don't have a campfire, even if it's in a ring. Just be safe, not have them.
They also suggest keeping dried trees or trimmings away from your home or taking them to a recycling center if needed. Any tasks that would be deemed acceptable on any other day could put neighbors at risk during warning periods.
When you're parking your cars, if you're ever out in the desert, don't park over dry grass because the actual exhaust can hit that. If you're dragging trailers, make sure your chains are up off the ground because, again, sparks dragging across. Those are some typical things that might cause those types of fires.
Phoenix Fire also urges everyone to avoid fireworks at all costs this weekend, saying one spark could easily lead to a high, fast-moving brush fire. Live in Phoenix, Tiani Jadaling, 12 News.
Tiani, thanks. New tonight, a popular Arizona fishing destination just about 2 hours east of here is closed after a massive fish die-off. The San Carlos Recreation and Wildlife Department says drought conditions combined with water releases from the dam led to the death of all the fish in the San Carlos Lake.
And because the lake is used to store water for irrigation, major fish die-offs have happened before during extreme drought. Officials warned that the fish carcasses could pose health and safety risks for anyone entering the water or trying to fish there. Visitors are being asked to avoid the area until further notice.
A man is dead after falling nearly 40 feet off the Mormon Trail at South Mountain today. Firefighters arrived just before 1 o'clock this afternoon. They used a Phoenix PD helicopter to hoist him off the mountain. He was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Phoenix police are investigating the fall, saying at this time there is no sign of foul play.
Tonight, we continue to learn more about a shocking investigation in Mesa. Police are trying to figure out what led to the death of a man with developmental disabilities.
Officers found him in a van belonging to the organization that was caring for him. Advocates tell 12 News journalist Chase Golightly this is an incredibly rare situation that never should have happened.
It all happened at this facility right behind me off of Lindsay near Brown Road. At this time, police cannot say how long the man was inside the van before he was discovered. One of many questions in this case.
This is a never can happen kind of event. It's terrible.
The 911 call went out to police and firefighters around 5:45 Thursday evening. The temperature in this area of Mesa, 104 degrees. Firefighters across the street from the facility rushed over, finding a 36-year-old man who was developmentally disabled dead in a van belonging to ITC Personal In-Home Care. It's also known as Pathways for Life, that has facilities across the state to help those with autism, Down syndrome, and more. While they do in-home care, they also have programs where members come out for the day.
Families trust the day programs like this, not just keep their kids safe, but to have a good time.
Will Humble, the executive director for the Arizona Public Health Association, is very familiar, saying his son, who has Down syndrome, also goes to a day program.
These facilities have a ton of policies and procedures, and by and large, the training is really good. I've never heard of something like this happening. So this is a really rare event. It's a never can happen event. It's obviously super tragic. And something went terribly wrong.
JJ Rico, the CEO of Disability Rights Arizona, that focuses on investigating abuse and neglect cases involving those with disabilities, agrees.
This organization should know the full extent and nature of this person's disability, the accommodations they might need, and so they're charged with providing those services and ensuring his care. And obviously this did not happen.
Wanting to know what procedures from the facility were not followed, leading to this death, and how it can be fixed so this never happens again. We did receive a statement from Pathways for Life that says, "We are deeply saddened to learn about the passing of one of our members. Our thoughts and prayers are with his family and loved ones. Our thoughts and prayers are with his family and loved ones. We are cooperating with authorities and the investigation that they're conducting. The safety and well-being of our members is our top priority, and we are committed to understanding exactly what occurred." The cause of death for this man has not been released at this time. Mesa police telling us its homicide detectives are investigating. We're in Mesa. Chase Golightly, 12 News.
All right, Chase, thanks. A 15-year-old has been arrested in connection with a deadly shooting at Desert Sky Mall on Tuesday night. Court documents say the teen opened fire after getting into an argument with a group of people. The county's attorney's office says the teen will be charged as an adult. The shooting killed 17-year-old Kevin Zamora and injured a 16-year-old boy. The suspect now facing a second-degree murder charge.
The man accused of killing a beloved New River pastor and plotting to harm other religious leaders across the country has changed his plea in court. This morning, Adam Schief pled guilty to several charges, including first-degree murder in the death of Bill Schoenman. The pastor was found dead in his home in April of last year. Schief's sentencing is set for August the 14th.
The worker caught on surveillance footage kicking a 5-year-old autistic child made his first court appearance today. Adolfo Salas was charged with child abuse and aggravated assault on a minor. The judge set a $5,000 bond in the case. Video allegedly shows Salas kicking the child in the face inside a classroom at SOAR Autism Center in Peoria. The school says Salas no longer works there and has been banned from ever returning.
Today, a Valley man was sentenced to 15 years in prison for a deadly hit-and-run crash. The courtroom was filled with family members remembering the victim and describing the lasting impact of his death. Our Sean Rice was there as the sentence was handed down.
It would be very hard for anybody to find a single soul that would not be able to say how magnetic and vibrant he was. His amazing smile, his laugh, they were so infectious.
A man loved by many. For family members of 29-year-old Dylan Matez, each person had an opportunity Friday to share a personal story. His uncle describing Dylan as a role model, his brother calling him a pillar of their family. But some of the most emotional testimony came from his sister, Giovanna.
It's changed us and fractured parts of us. It's brought sleepless nights, unbearable heartbreak, nights of uncontrollable sobbing and a grief that follows us into every holiday, every celebration, and every ordinary day.
Back on September 21st, 2024, Matez was traveling home from work as he entered through a green light at the intersection of 16th Street and Camelback in Phoenix. His car was T-boned by 26-year-old Travis Smith's truck. He ran a red light and was going 81 miles an hour in a 35-mile-per-hour roadway. The impact instantly killing Matez, causing his car to nearly split in half. This year, Smith pleaded guilty to manslaughter and leaving the scene of a deadly accident. After the judge imposed a 15-year prison sentence, his mom, Brittany, described her son's zest for life.
He was just such an authentic, loving, charismatic, genuine person. And I think he's just one of those people that you just couldn't help but want to be around. And it says a lot because he was very loving and kind and giving and funny, and he wanted to share all of that with everybody, and he did.
The judge also offering Smith a chance to address a courtroom filled with Dylan's family members.
From the bottom of my heart, and I am sorry. I know, that that only goes so long, but I do have to live with the guilt and the shame and the actions that I have done, and it will follow me for the rest of my life.
Friday's sentencing hearing prompted Dylan's mom to send a message to others who drive on Valley roadways.
I wish people would stop running red lights and stop speeding like they're in a hurry. No, nobody is in that big of a hurry. Nobody's life is worth losing. So, hug everyone you love because you don't know what tomorrow will bring.
In Phoenix, Sean Rice, 12 News.